Alright, welcome folks to a very special Let's Play. It's a Let's Play of a game that was out when I was a little kid, so I'm having to play it on a DOS emulator. But I'm playing the only proper version of this game. This game came out as a NES game, and there was a game made by fans whom I'm sure had all the best intentions in the world, but they redid it with new graphics, and it just, can't remake the classics, folks. We are going to play kind of an experimental LP because my idea with this one, yeah, you might be thinking to yourself, JG, you're crazy. You've got too many LPs going already. Why would you want to start a new one? You've got a bunch of LPs you need to finish. You said you were going to do a 100 subscriber special, and it sure as heck didn't get any people asking me to do some MS-DOS game. Well, the deal with this LP, folks, is I'm going to take it slow because I'm going to leave each video up long enough for people to comment. Because this is kind of like a good old-fashioned point and click, wander around, try to solve puzzles game. And I played this game years ago when I was a kid, and I remember some of it, but I don't remember all of it. And the chances are pretty good I'm going to get stuck. So rather than try to go to a hint book to beat it like I had to do when I was a dumb little kid, I'm going to let you guys post your comments and be like, hey, JG, why don't you try doing this? Why don't you try doing that to get through this puzzle game? What puzzle game is it, folks? It's Maniac Mansion. Alright, first thing you're going to notice is that, well, it's DOS. The graphics ain't that hot. Second thing you're going to notice is I don't have a mouse. Hey, look at my mouse. Look at the way that the game doesn't really interact with it. I'm going to have to play this with the keyboard, folks. This is going to be, I admit it, a pretty darn clumsy LP. But this ain't an action game, folks, so let's see what we can do. We start out default. We are playing as Dave. Dave is Sandy's boyfriend. Excuse me, organizer of the rescue. Belt. Nice way to start an LP. Dave is Sandy's boyfriend, organizer of the rescue effort. Yes, because this game is about rescuing a cheerleader from a mad scientist. More on that later. We have to play as Dave. You have to pick two other kids. There is no combination of heroes with whom you cannot win the game. However, different characters have different things that they're able to do. Sid is a musician. Being able to record music, it will be helpful at some point. He's an aspiring musician trying to start his own new wave band. Yeah, not big on new wave. Michael, he is, well, obviously the black dude. He's an award-winning photographer for the college newspaper. There's Wendy. Wendy wants to be a famous novelist and is waiting for a big break. Wendy's one of the people that I'm going to play as, because I seem to remember that Wendy's ending is one of the more amusing ones. There's also Bernard, president of the college, or the physics club, and winner of the college's geek award. Oh, look, he's smiling when you pick him. He's shocked. Very amusing. There's Razor, lead singer for the punk band Razor and the Scumettes. The photography thing is useful. I forget how. You will at one point in the game, I remember, if I remember correctly, find memoirs, and she will be able to punch up the memoirs. Anybody else gets a hold of memoirs and combines, use memoir with typewriter, that just make things worse. Bernard is able to repair mechanical devices, in this case a radio, and I think he can do something else. I don't remember exactly what. Razor and Sid can both make music, so I think technically if you choose them as your two, there's the same puzzle that can be solved by one can also be solved by the other that other people can't solve, so it's really not a good idea to use those two together, but you can still win the game with them, I believe. And then Jeff. Jeff usually hangs out on the beach, responds to the name Surfer Dude. He too can repair the radio. My sister, I never quite figured that out when I was a kid, but my older sister assured me that Surfer Dudes do have a reputation for being able to repair radios with whatever's on hand. So let's go with Bernard, because I remember him being useful. And this means that Dave is going to, rather than go with two women, which would, make it some kind of anime harem thing, he is going to go with a female friend to rescue his girlfriend, and a nerdy guy who he does not think will be competition for his girlfriend. Let's start the game. 20 years ago today. This game was probably made more than 20 years ago, actually. Great DOS sound effects. awesome DOS music. A Lucasfilm Games production. Designed and written by Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick. You guys rule. Scripted by Ron Gilbert and David Fox. They also rule. Programmed by Eric Woolmunder and Ron Gilbert. They rule. Art and animation by Gary Winnick. He rules. Original music by Chris Grigg and David Lawrence. They totally rock. It's all I can do to not, like, sing along with this music or doot along with it. Okay, this looks like the old mansion. I'm sure I saw Dr. Fred take Sandy here. It's up to you guys to, or it's up to us to get her out. This could be real dangerous. If anyone wants to back out. Okay, I'm out of here. Bernard, don't be a tuna head. Tuna head, folks. It's Sandy we're talking about. Amazingly, I believe the emulation... Okay, let's go rescue Sandy. Yes, okay. I believe the game actually does play more smoothly when I'm not running Cam Studio. As crazy as this sounds, that music does run a little bit smoother without Cam Studio. Interesting. And now Sid is running away from the green tentacle, calling, "Time out!" What do we want to do? Let's save this game. Why? Because it's entirely possible that we will screw up and I will need to load game very quickly. Alright, this is an old school puzzle game. As you see, we've got various commands. I believe I can find the keyboard shortcuts for these, so I will not have to move around the arrows just to do that. However, I will have to move around the arrows to use items. When I get an inventory, it'll be down here. I do not remember how to use items without using the arrows. So that will make things run very slowly. I do apologize. Couple of things to say before we get started. I think I can probably... I'm going to try to record one video at a time and keep these up long enough for people to post. But I can do a couple of videos up front before I sort of slow down and give you guys time to stay caught up. On account of the fact that it's going to take me a little while before I get stuck, I think. There's a lot of exploring to do before you get to the point where it's absolutely necessary for you to solve one of the puzzles before you can get anywhere. Now, you have to get into the mansion first. That's a reasonably straightforward puzzle that I remember the solution to. But once you're in the mansion, you can wander around a bit. So, yeah, let's do this. Now, the other thing to remember, this is a big problem with games from this era. The King's Quest games had this problem too. Any of these puzzle games where you wander around, you pick up items, you do stuff, they all seem to be set up in such a way that you can render the game unwinnable. You can do something, destroy an item, or, you know, fail to take advantage of, like, you know, there might be a puzzle that you have to at a certain time, you have to do it, like, you know, when character A is, you know, NPC character A is in room B, you must do Act C, or you'll never get another chance to do it. But if you fail to do it, the game doesn't end. You just continue wandering around, but you can no longer win the game, and you don't know that. I don't think I explained that very well, but the point is that, yes, like if Dave accidentally, you know, say, flushes a key down the toilet that we need, it's possible that you'll run around through the game thinking, oh, at some point I guess we get another shot at getting that key, and no, you don't. You have to find a way to get the key that doesn't involve it going down the toilet. And you won't know that, and you can wander around and be completely stuck. So if we get really, really stuck, folks, and I say we because I'm hoping that my subscribers will chime in and provide their suggestions on what we should be doing. Yeah, I might have to check a hint sheet just to make sure that we're not completely trapped and stuck. But sadly, this game has been out long enough, although there was a hint book you could buy at the time. Back in the day, man, I loved video games or computer games back in the day. You would actually go to... I guess they were still calling Electronics Boutique back then, and Babbage's. If that was even what that might be even before Electronics Boutique. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I've been talking too much, the game's paused. But you would buy the hint book, and that was like an extra revenue stream for the game designers. It's like they would sell the hint book. And like the Infocom games, which don't think I can let's play an Infocom game, folks. They were all text. I'm sure people have tried, though. People have tried to LP this, and I don't know if their LPs are good and that I really shouldn't be doing one because there's already a great one out there for this game. I can't watch the LP of it or it'll give away how to solve the game, and I want to go into this semi-blind with just my own memories of this game from years ago. Will be the only advantage I have over you if you've never played the game before at all. But yeah, back in the day, the Infocom games, the hint books, you would actually have like magic. That you'd actually have like invisible ink written in the book, and you would use this Infocom revealer pen and write on the book, and you would draw like a yellow line across the text, and the text would become visible, and that way you could only reveal the hint if you needed it for that puzzle. It was like, it's very nostalgic for me thinking about this. But anyway, let's start playing the game. The point I was trying to get at is that I'll go to a hint book if we absolutely need to, just to make sure that we didn't do something where we screwed ourselves and can't win the game anymore and we don't even realize it. Start by walking to... Well, can we walk to the moon? Hold on. Let me use the what is command. The what is command is useful because you scroll over selectable objects. Not all objects are selectable. The moon does not appear to be selectable. Neither are Wendy and Bernard. You cannot push Bernard. You cannot use Wendy for her body or whatever. But we can walk to the sign, and we can read the sign. Warning! Trespassers will be horribly mutilated. He's been burned. But it didn't touch his hair or his clothes. But he's horribly mutilated. Mystery Science Theater reference. Alright, so we're at the mansion. That place at the far, far right where our characters begin, that is one of the safe places in the game where you can leave characters you're not currently controlling, and nothing bad will happen to them while you're not paying attention. So we've got the front door. Alright. We've got the mailbox. Let's try opening the mailbox. And now we will... well, there's nothing in the mailbox. Okay, so forget that. We'll close the mailbox. The mailbox will be useful later, depending on which characters you have and how you're solving the puzzles. There's a bizarre all-night, multiple times a night mail delivery service where you can ship off packages. This game has a real sense of humor, folks. You'll see that eventually when I shut up and, But, yeah, you can, like, once you've got, like... Once Razor or Sid have recorded their album, you can ship it off to the publishing company whose address you find in the mansion. But let's start off by being polite, and we will... There is no knock command, so let's... what is... Doorbell. Let's push the doorbell. Let's see if somebody comes to answer the door. Oh, the doorbell! I wonder if that's my package. Okay. So we can wait patiently for this character to arrive. Eventually, folks, ringing the doorbell and getting him to come answer the door will be a tactical way to get this character out of the room that he's guarding. But we're not that far yet. Yeah, I'll be interested to see now. How much of this do I remember? I know for a fact that this will not get us into the house. I'm just curious to see what happens. I know how to get into the house, folks. You may have figured it out yourself. Can't you read the sign? Now get out of here! Okay, but he didn't mutilate us, so that's good. The sign said he would mutilate us. So, folks, how do you suppose we get in the door? The most basic puzzle in the game. Well, let's use the old what is command. What have we got to interact with? The windows and stuff don't seem to do anything. There are bushes here. Let's pull the bushes. That reveals a grate of some kind. Can we pull open the grating and get underneath the house? No, I can't budge it. It's rusted shut. Alright, well, let us not give up yet. There is something else we can interact with on the screen. There's a doormat. Now, folks, you're a mad scientist. You know a lot about science, but you don't know a lot about personal security. Where do you hide your key? Your emergency key, in case you need to get back in after you've been locked out of the house. I don't see a false rock anywhere. It's gotta be under the doormat. So we pull the doormat and we find the key. Let's pick up the key. The key for the front door. Now, use... How do I select key? There's gotta be a button I can use to select key. No, let's give. Use. Walk to. Use. Alright, I'm just gonna have to use the key this way. We're gonna use the key in the door. Excellence has been achieved, folks. Seems to me like this would be a good time to save our game and end the video. I'm not going to save constantly, folks. But, the game has been saved, and this video has hit the 15-minute mark. I think I'll go with 15 minutes on these videos. So, folks, when we come back, I don't really need... You can make comments. You can tell me that you think this game's a good or bad idea or whatnot. You can tell me that you've got great memories of this game, or you can tell me, JG, what are you, like 100 freaking years old? You can make comments, folks, but I'll need you to make comments later when I get stuck. For right now, we're going to go into the house. We're going to find out who that weird dude was. We might find out why there's some kind of... Yeah, I happen to know that's a tentacle. I'm not even sure you would know what that was with the good old-fashioned DOS graphics if I didn't already know the game. But we're going to find out what's going on in this Maniac Mansion in the next video. Thank you for watching, folks. See you next time.